Hey, what's up YouTube? In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make the Fanlair from the show Fanboy and Chum Chum. If you enjoyed this tutorial, all I ask is that you please hit that like button, as it really helps me and the channel out very much. And if you make it all the way to the end, then please share the video with a friend. Sharing is caring. But without any further ado, let me show you how to make this massive build. Before we begin, I just have to tell you a couple of things. Number one, these are all of the materials that you are going to be needing and the rough amounts of those materials that you will be using as well. So please make sure that you have all that stuff and enough of it. And to actually make the build, you only need a 17 block by a 22 block area on the ground. So it's not too hard to find enough space to make it. Once you have all of those things sorted out, we can begin. And of course, pause if necessary. So step number one, for if you have made this grid in your world, you want to come to the front left hand corner. Once you've found the front left hand corner of the grid, count inwards by 1, 2, 3. The grid is not necessary for this tutorial. You can make it without it, it's just a bit trickier. On top of this block, we want to place 20 magenta concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We then want to go to the right of this 20th block by 16. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then we're going to connect that block all the way down to the ground. This might take you some time if you're on Bedrock Edition, because placing blocks downwards is kind of tricky. There we are. What we then want to do is we want to take these top corner magenta blocks and we want to extend them backwards each by 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And we want to extend the 18th block across, and we want to connect it back to the front of the building. No counting required. And then we want to connect the corners of the building down to the ground. So wherever the back two corners are, you simply want to connect them down to the ground with your magenta concrete. And if you have built your grid, they should gently just get placed right there like that. And we want to do the same thing on the opposite side. However, I have the good fortune of having made this grid, so I know exactly where it's going to come up from. Now, once you have this shape right here, on the sides of the building, on the left and right, you want to add an additional row of magenta concrete coming up the inside legs of the building. Now, this is only present on the left and right sides, like this, and on the opposite side also. Perfect. The next step is for us to fill in the left and right side and the back using sandstone block. Now, this is quite a task. You're going to need quite a lot of sandstone. And remember, left, right, back, and we will be filling in the top also. However, when it does come to the top, we are going to do things a little bit differently. So you know what, we might even save that for later. So left, right, and back. Let's ignore the top for now. There we go. So that is the left, right, and back side of the building, completely filled in with sandstone. And as I said, we'll do a little bit more with that later when it comes to the top. So the next thing I want you to do, on the front of the building, I want you to place 3 rows of sandstone, 1, 2, 3, at the base of the front of the building, coming up from the ground. Like that. Then starting on the left side, we have more detail. So, on top of the very left sandstone, I want you to place 4 sandstone block. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go right by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I then want you to place 3 glass. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. Then we're going to place 2 more sandstone. 1, 2. Connect that sandstone down to the ground. And then continue to extend that sandstone right and then down, like that. So we want to have something which should look like this. And we also want to have a row of sandstone coming down from this here, as to emulate what we have just done on the opposite side. We then want to create doorways. Now these doorways are very, very simple. So we're going to place on the left and right side specifically, upside down sandstone stairs in the corners of these sides, so that's the left side and the right side like this. We're going to add another row of sandstone just left and right of the glass, like this. We're going to fill this area in here with glass as well, so just below the glass we're going to fill all of this up with glass like that. What we also want to do is we want to have a red concrete backing behind the doors. So the areas that we have on the left and right, we simply want to fill behind them until we just see red from the outside. Like that. And then we want to have a set of stairs that come down from the doors, like this, and lead us out onto the pavement. So, however you do this, it really doesn't matter too much. But I'm just going to place some blocks to make it easier to place the stairs, like this, coming down to the street. And we want to have the same on the opposite side. So, a set of stairs coming directly down from the doors like this. There we are. And then we are going to build up sandstone left and right of the stairs, just like this. So the sandstone is just going to sit on the outside of the stairs like that, on both sides. And another little detail that we are going to do is at the top of the stairs, where the stairs connect to the actual door, I'm just going to place either, it can be any block that has the stone brick texture, so it can even be upside down stairs and no one will know. Just as long as it has the stone brick texture, it can be slabs, it can be the block itself, it can be upside down stairs, it really doesn't matter, as long as you have this effect. And a nice little thing as well, just left and right of the stairs and in between them also. I'm just going to dig out all of the grass or whatever it is you might have there. I don't know where you guys are actually building this, but I'm going to dig it out and I'm going to have a pavement effect or a sidewalk effect, however you want to call it. Just as long as it blends into the surroundings. This would be on a street, so if you have built it in a city, then obviously you're going to want to, meld it into the area surrounding it. Anyway, once you have done that, we want to add 4 more rows of sandstone on top of the door area and the glass area. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. And we just want to have these rows coming across like this, and we just want to fill in up on top. Just like that. Then Going from left to right on top of this, we're going to place a sandstone, 3 glass, 2 sandstone, 3 glass, 2 sandstone, 3 glass, and then a sandstone, like that. And we're going to place up on top of the glass 3 more rows. So this is actually a bit tricky. Glass pane is so hard to place on top of itself, but it's 1 row, 2. There we go, that's 1 row in total. This will be the second. And then this will be the third. So the windows want to be about 4 blocks high, just as they are down below as well. And we're just going to fill in between them as well. So we basically want to fill the rest of the building in using sandstone blocks. So in between all the windows and on top of the windows also, coming all the way up to the top, we're just going to fill in the remaining area using sandstone blocks. Okay, nice and simple. So once you've done that, we have some really weird details to add to all of the windows and the doors. Now, these are going to look very strange, but they're very, very similar to what you would actually find on the actual Fanlair building. So above the doors, we'll start with the doors, because why not? When it comes to the doors, you want to find the top left stair here. We're starting on the left, the top left stair, move left 1, and then up 1. This is where we're going to start the actual detail. I want you to place a magenta here, up right diagonally a magenta, right 2, bottom right diagonally a magenta. And we're going to place upside down purpur stairs underneath, sideways purpur stairs in the corners, and we're going to slightly raise the top with a purpur slab, like this. And we want to do this on the opposite side, and I know it looks funky, but it is what it is. We want to take this upside down stairs, we want to move left, up, magenta, upright diagonally, magenta, right 2, bottom right diagonal, magenta, and then the purpur stairs underneath in the corners, sideways purpur on the corners on the outside, purpur on top of the middle, like that. Now, once you have done that, we now have detail to add to the windows. So for every single window, we'll do this all at once. You want to place a magenta concrete at the top middle of the window, and then 1 above, like that. And you want to do this in every single one of the 4 cases. We've got 4 windows, so we're going to do this 4 times. We want to have those same blocks. Coming outwards from the bottom magenta, we're going to have upside down purpur stairs. And then on top of that, sideways purpur stairs like that. There we go. And we want to do this for every single one of them. So whatever method you find works, I find like placing stuff in rows like this actually is a little bit faster and a little bit easier. You want to do exactly this. So we've got the same level of detail. It's a very fancy looking building, ladies and gentlemen. It's very strange. Whether you, because I think it looks weird, so I can only imagine what you guys think as well. But it does look very, very similar to the actual one, so I don't know what to say. Next, grab yourself the purpur slabs, and I want you to come all the way up to the top of the building. We're going to place a single row of purpur slabs coming all the way around the top of the lower magenta concrete. So it's just, you're going to still have that half row of magenta concrete sticking out of the top. However, we're going to have the purpur slabs just kind of bordering it like that. We also want to have half a row lower and an entire row outwards, an additional row of purpur slabs. And you don't have to like add any extras here. You don't have to like fill in underneath like the original row or anything like that. You don't have to make it solid at all. You just have to have this row that exists right here. There we are. So it just gives the building a little more of a something. And I am just going to remove that one in the corner that I used to guide, just so that it's the same all the way around. But yeah, that's looking pretty good, if I do say so myself. Now, once that has been done, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to fill in the roof. Now, the roof is going to be filled in with sandstone. That's already established. However, we want to fill it in one row downwards from the top. So we want to have a nice little dip at the top of the roof. So when you're walking around up here, you're not going to just immediately fall straight onto the purpur slabs or anything like that. And yeah, this is exactly where the roof wants to be. Fill it in with sandstone. Just like that. Now that we have the building, and that is the building complete, we can actually make the actual Fanlair itself, which is my favorite part. So I want you to come all the way up to the top of the building, and I want you to come to the front left-hand corner sandstone block, which is right here. And I want you to count to the right. I want you to count 1, 2, 3. And then I want you to count inwards 1. And then place about 4 magenta coming upwards from the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then add an additional magenta. This is the special one. Add an additional magenta on top of that row to make it 5. And destroy the first 4. Like that. So we have 1 floating magenta, and that is the 5th block, remember, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what's important about this 5th block is this is going to help us make the platform. So this is a bit tricky to, tutorial, but I'm sure that we'll get through it. You want to place a block behind this magenta, and then move left by 1. You then want to place a block behind this magenta, and then move left by 1. And then you want to place a block behind that magenta and move left by 1. We then want to move backwards by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Move inwards by 1. And then back 1. Inwards 1. Back 1. Inwards 1. Back 1. We then want to go to the right of that by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Move towards, then right. Towards us, right. Towards us, right. And then move towards us by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Left, towards us, left, towards us, left, towards us, go all the way left. And what you will be left with is this. And this actually looks really cool because of the depth. That is a circular shape, and that is going to be the platform that we are going to basically build the Fanlair inside of now. So once you have done that, ladies and gentlemen, what I want you to do, and this is going to sound kind of tricky, I want you to add another layer of magenta going all the way around the inside of this to kind of just double up on the magenta itself. So we want it to connect at the corners and everything like that, but we are going to just place another layer of magenta just going all the way around the inside. So it looks a little bit thicker, like this. So that's what the end result should look like. That's looking pretty good. So the next thing I'm going to do is, what materials don't I need anymore? Well, sandstone stairs. Don't need that anymore. So we're going to get the oak wood stairs, and the yellow concrete, and the end rod is a little bit niche. Oh, we also don't need glass pane for a bit too, so end rods. Okay, so inside of this shape that we've just made, I want you to place a single layer of oak wood planks inside of the shape. So these blocks do not want to connect together at the corners, which is contradictory to what we did with the magenta. That's what we want to have. Okay, So on the front row of oak wood, I want you to place a yellow concrete right on top of the middle. Extend that yellow concrete left and right. Add another row on top. Extend it left and right. And then add 2 rows on top of the middle part. So that's going to be 1 row, 2. We're going to add a row of oak wood on top of that. And that'll be the end result. We next want to place oak planks left and right of all of this to kind of box it in. And then we want to raise up all of the remaining oak wood planks until they are as high as the ones that we placed at the front. And something else that we can do also whilst we are working on this is that we can fill the base in as well. Just like that. Well, what else do we want to do here? So, the platform itself actually also wants to connect to the roof in a few different ways. The first way that we're going to do it is with a set of stairs. On the left side of the platform, we want to take this magenta specifically, one away from the end, and we want to extend it down. Left, down. Left, down. Left, down, left. We weren't necessarily going left, but you guys get the idea. Basically like down and towards the back. And we want to leave a row of 1, and we want to do the same thing again. So we kind of just want to leave like a gap of 1 alone, and then we want to do the same thing again so that we have a dual row. We're then going to place a set of purpur stairs leading up from the magenta here that wants to break into the top of this. So you're going to have to, there we go, that'll do. We just want to be able to walk up and down these stairs, which I bet means, yeah, I've got to delete that one too, but that'll work. And then underneath these, if you like, you can make them a little bit fancier. Perhaps you can place some upside down stairs underneath them, but a very small detail. So now we can get all the way up to the actual layer itself on top of the platform and stuff. But the layer is also supported by, it's not very many, it's only 2 legs, okay? So I want you to come underneath the platform here, and I want you to find the middle of the platform at the front. So this is actually where we place the yellow concrete on top, except like this is the reverse. I want you to move 1 block back and place a row of oak planks coming down to the ground. Place upside down oak stairs at the top of that, left and right. The other leg of the platform is in a similar position. You take the middle right of the platform of the oak planks inwards, and then it's just a single leg of oak planks. Like, it's nothing fancy or anything like that. It's basically just that. And that is what supports what is, it's kind of like a water tower, but basically it's the Fanlair. So once you've done that, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to add a roof to the tower itself. So I want you to place a row of magenta concrete directly on top of the oak planks, like this, going all the way around on top of the oak planks, like this. There we are. And then we have to basically copy the shape of the platform here on top of the actual fan layer. So what that means is we want to add 2 additional layers of magenta concrete going all the way around the top and outside of the fan layer. And this is going to mirror the shape of the platform that we placed earlier. So it's quite easy to do. So like you'll do 1 layer like that. Missed a block off right here as well to connect it, and you'll see that it's just 1 row out. It is hard to see, but you can see it. And then we just want to add another layer, and we just want to make sure it's the same size of the platform. Kind of reminds me of like a giant Mario mushroom or something, but it's kind of like all funky colors, which would be a great idea for a house, a Mario mushroom. Okay, noted. I think, nope, we just got that 1 block there, and then you should see that that's basically what we had right at the beginning as well. That is the size of the platform. Well, what do we want to do next, you might be wondering? Well, we want to grab the purpur slabs, and we want to come one layer inwards of the magenta. So that last layer that we placed, we basically want to place a layer of purpur slabs on top of the original layer of magenta concrete like this, and the purpur slabs just want to kind of sit on top of that very first layer of magenta concrete like this. And I'm hoping that it's kind of easy to see what I'm talking about, but it should actually be visually easier to see rather than the explanation for it. But that's what we want to have, like a layer of purpur sat on top of that original layer. We then want to place magenta concrete on the inside of that row of purpur. So magenta, I thought I did something wrong there. Magenta concrete on top of that inside of the purpur, but that is actually on top of the very original row, not just the first layer that we added. So you can see it's extended upwards just like that. What we then want to do is we want to place a layer of purpur again, half a row above, and one row inside of the magenta that we just placed. And the purpur also wants to connect together at the corners too. So you can see we're adding layers and layers and layers on top of this, and that's all it takes. It takes a load of layers. And I happen to think that this is a really cool roof as well. I love the depth and the color combination. I really like it. It just goes all the way around the top. It's really awesome, actually. I love this roof. And then we're going to add another layer of magenta concrete inside the purpur, and this time the magenta concrete is going to connect together at the corners. Like this. It's just going to connect together at the corners. Kind of reminds me of like a flower or something similar to that. There we are. And then, last but not least, we want to add another row of purpur slab, just completely covering up the top of these shapes. So it's just going to fill the top of this in, which leaves you a lot of room inside the fan layer, by the way. And that's what you want to have so far. We're also going to extend the middle block up half a row like that, turn it into a solid purpur block. And we're going to place an end rod on top of that with a red concrete on top, just like that. You can even make that higher if you like. On the left side, there is a little window, by the way, as well. I've not added all of the details of the fan layer because it'd be impossible unless the size was much greater. But there's a little window on the left side here, and I'm just going to destroy these middle three purpur. I'm going to place magenta concrete on the left and right, destroy inwards, and I'm just going to place a layer of purpur slab in between them. It's a little window, and then connecting to the roof as well. Just a nice little window, very small little detail right there. And what else have we got left to do with the building? Well, you can create an entrance if you like, anywhere along here, wherever it's supposed to go. Maybe on the back you can add a door. I'm not choosing to do that because this is just a display piece, but if you actually want to turn it into like a nice functional layer, then you absolutely can. But one thing that we are absolutely missing is a way to get up from the bottom of the building up to the top. And there is a little entrance that we have to make, and we need our sandstone for this, alright? So on the back of the building, right in the very middle, which should be easy to find because you can see here where we have this leg, follow that back, right to the back of the building, this is the middle. We're going to place 3 sandstone, 1, 2, 3. We're going to extend the left 2, 1, 2, and the right 2, 1, 2, upwards, like that. And then we're going to add another row of sandstone in front of this, row of magenta in front of that, just like that. And you know what, I might even make the back part magenta as well, although on the original it was sandstone, but I might make the back part magenta. And then I'm just going to place some purpur stairs on the left and right. This is just an entrance, and then purpur slabs on top, and that's all there is to it pretty much. So now you have a way to actually get up to the building like that. So let's say that theoretically, right, ladies and gentlemen, you did want to use the fan layer, which, it's possible that you do. You might want to turn it into a house and stuff. Where are the ladders? The ladders are here. So obviously, if you wanted to actually turn it into a nice functional building, you'd make these entrances so that you could actually walk inside of them. It's incredibly dark in here. And you'd also dig down from this walkway here. You would dig down into the building, and you would have a set of stairs that led you from the top of the building down and inside, obviously down and inside just like this, and it would connect to the doors. Now I was only showing that just in case it wasn't obvious. I hope it was, but just in case, you come from the entrances to the back, climb up the stairs, put whatever you want inside the buildings, whatever's supposed to be there, and that would of course gain you entrance to the roof. To get up into the fan layer, you climb up these stairs, and then somewhere, you know, maybe on the back even, because you don't want to ruin the front or the sides, you'd create an entrance into here, and yeah, that's kind of how it would be functional. As I said, this is just my display piece, so if you do want to fill in the inside and stuff, then that is completely up to you. But that is that. So this is what your fan layer should look like once it's been 100% fully completed. I think that this is an awesome building, especially to kind of just, if you're making a city, just chuck it in there. It's just a really cool little Easter egg for people to find. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please do remember to hit that like button, as it really helps me and the channel out very, very much. If you would like to keep up to date with the channel, then subscribe and click the little bell next to the subscription button. That'll make sure that you get all my stuff sent directly to your sub box. And of course, if you do want to see anything else by me, of which there is just a huge variety around here, even in cartoon terms, you know, we've kind of got all sorts of different stuff. I love making all sorts of different things from films and TV. It's one of my favorite things to do. Then please check out the card system and the description below. I'd highly recommend the Cartoon Builds playlist. I said carton, stupid accent. Cartoon Builds playlist. You'll find that in the card system and the description below. I highly recommend checking that out. I've got awesome things in there, like the Adventure Time Treehouse, which is, funnily enough, smaller than the fan layer, because I had to make it as such, because it is such a huge build otherwise. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I do appreciate you very, very, very much. Now I'll see you in the next one. Good.